Hey, don't touch that dial. This show is about Christmas, shopping, and having a good time. And we want you to have a good time. We want you to have a Merry Christmas. We don't want you to have a horrible Christmas, getting robbed or getting pushed or shoved. So I have two county detectives that works in the district attorney's office, okay? And they experience. Experience means a lot, you know. They assist the police department. They work in conjunction with the police department. They make initial arrests, and they prepare cases, and they work along with the district attorney, and they work along with the local police departments throughout the county. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce, like they do in Madison Square Garden, in this corner. All right, your name is?
Kathy Hart.
All right, and tell me what you do, what's your title?
I'm a county detective. I work with the Montgomery County District Attorney's Office Major Crimes Unit.
Okay, major crime. What do you mean by major crime?
Major crimes is anything that would be not a homicide or a drug-related crime, such as theft, arson, a sexual assault, assaults, corruption charges, various crimes such as that.
Okay, and then I know you've been in the district attorney's office for a while. Your experience, how many years have you been with the DA's office?
28 years.
Wow! I have to say it now, I worked with you. I was a county detective, and great. Let me tell you, she is top shelf. Okay, now in this corner, tell me your name and your title and what you do.
My name is Mary Anders, and I'm a county detective as well, and work in major crimes with Kathy.
You work together?
We do, and we also do cases that Kathy didn't mention, that we work at out of anything out of a county facility, say the prison or the youth center, anything that at the courthouse, anything that crime that might happen at a county facility, we also investigate.
Well, you see, that's why I interview police officers on this show, and I did want to get the district attorney's office, and District Attorney Risa Furman has been so cooperative. She sends me district attorneys over here. So we want the county, you know the old story, an informed nation is a peaceful nation. So we want to keep you informed. So the holidays are coming, the thieves are out there, they're going to be shopping, so let's be smart and see how, how we can handle ourselves. And so the tips, these are tips that, keep you going. So you'll spend your money on gifts and have a Merry Christmas. I don't want you to get robbed, I don't want you to get purse snatching. So come on now, tell me something about some information so people make it safe for the holidays.
Well, the normal type of shopping tips that we would advise would be normal common sense. First of all, like around the Christmas holidays, a lot of people have a tendency to carry a lot more money than they normally would in forms of cash. So you want to kind of be conscious of that when you're going out, that if you're going to carry large amounts of cash, perhaps you should not carry them in a handbag, or you should put them in two pockets as opposed to ones. And if you can make a purchase with a credit card or a check, perhaps that might be a better way to do it than carrying, say, $1,000 in cash on your person.
And a lot of the purse snatchers, they have a purse hanging, dangling, and just like, almost like you're asking to be robbed. So, if you have groceries, put the handbag in there, because thieves don't go around grabbing groceries.
And don't give them the opportunity. Don't give them the opportunity. So if you have it in your person or in your pocket, it's easier for you to keep control of it than maybe in your handbag. Right.
And if you're going to a meeting, and you know that there's going to be a little township meeting, you don't need your credit cards, you don't need all your hospital, your, what do you call it?
Identification cards.
Insurance
cards.
You don't need that.
And if somebody, then it's your driver's license and all that, my God, unless you're going to drive, it's a different story. But only take the things that you need, okay? Now, come on, tell me what else
well, for instance, if you're going to a shopping mall, if you can go during daylight hours, obviously that would be a preferable time than if you had to go at the evening. But if you do have to go in the evening, parking nearest your largest street light, as opposed to a darkened area, would be better. And the closer you can be to an entrance to the mall, again, the better it could be. What you want to do is remember where you parked the car, so you're not roaming around the mall.
You're wandering around, and that's what a guy, they look for, thieves or they look for an elderly lady or someone that looks like they're look smart. When you walk around, look like you know what you're doing, where you're going. Otherwise, you look like a little stonal in Italian. That means you're only hitting on a couple cylinders. Same thing when you're traveling in another country, another city. don't look like a tourist, look like you know where you're
Sure.
going, what you're doing.
Absolutely. And one of the things that some of the malls in this area offer at the Christmas holidays is either valet service, where someone will park
Right.
your car for you,
Right.
or some of the malls, if they have a larger security department, will offer an escort service for you to your car. So that might be something you might want to consider if you're hesitant to go out to the car by yourself.
It might be better too in parking, especially where a garage is, and a lot of people park on the floor where it's covered. Maybe it's bad weather, it's better for your car.
Right.
But sometimes if you're outside on the top level where people can see you, that might be safer too.
Yeah.
As opposed to parking under one of the tiers
And you sort of...
and don't know where you're going kind of
Yeah,
thing.
right. Okay, now, let's say that the shoplifter, please call. What's a procedure? Let's say a particular case on purse snatching. It makes initial arrest, goes to the district attorney's office, right? And the county detective, you follow up on that. What's the story on that?
Well, usually if it's a purse snatch and the person is apprehended by the local police department, it would be unusual for us to get involved
Yeah.
if it was just that. However, if it resulted in an identity theft where certain items were taken, such as a credit card, social security
Okay,
card,
that's-
which
well,
may
yeah.
have resulted in a subsequent crime, we, as the county detectives, may get involved in that
Yeah.
particular case.
In other words, the district attorney, the police department asks for your assistance, right?
Yeah, and also
Right.
if say there's a ring of people doing it, and the police department, it doesn't just happen, say, in Upper Marion. Maybe it's a ring of people doing something out of Upper Marion, Montgomery Township, Talmenson, and it's going over 3 or 4 jurisdictions. They'll ask the county
So you
detectives
coordinate
involved
it.
to help,
Right.
because they may not have all the manpower
That's right.
to cover it.
That's the point. See, I'd hate to hear a police department say, well, geez, I don't have enough men, I can't investigate. Come on, call the district attorney's office and they can assist,
Exactly.
I want people to feel safe. I want to know that if there's a problem, a lot of people they don't realize that the district attorney is your lawyer. You don't have to call a lawyer to have, somebody
Absolutely.
robbed you. The district attorney is your helper, right?
Absolutely.
Correct. And also, in the event they would be multi-state, there are task force that work together in the event we would become aware of a ring
Right.
that's operating at large shopping malls up and down the mid-Atlantic area or even on the eastern seaboard.
That not only, now, this is all new. When I was a policeman for 27 years and 13 years with the DA's office, and things changed, a lot of things. Now there's internet,
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of. Now tell me something about that. Now I know you, I know you're up
Well,
on that stuff.
we are.
I'm a dinosaur.
Actually, Kathy and I are both assigned to the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force through the DA's office. But besides that, we are, with the society, everything you have to do a lot of things on the internet anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of tips, a lot of people shop online. And there's a lot of tips if
All right,
you're
now
not
tell me about that. Now people
shopping
shop online. What's
Exactly.
the story on that?
So, for instance, if you're looking for something, maybe you go to llbean.com to find a new jacket. You can actually purchase it online and just insert your credit card number, and then it's billed to your credit card and gets shipped to your house. Well, a few things you want to be careful of is, number one is the website. Is it a well-known site? Is it a site, like I said, LL Bean or Yahoo or Google, Sears.com? Something that you know already has a real store, but something that has a good reputation. Do they have on their website, is their mailing address on their website? Is their phone number on their website? Is there a customer service department you can call if there's a problem? That's a big thing. How do you pay for the item? Do they use PayPal, which is a very big site that's secured? Or they only accept, you have to pay the money first in a cash or check and then they'll send your item. That may not be a good site to purchase items from. What do you do if you have a problem? What if the item's broken? Is there a fee to ship it back? Is there a fee to restock it? Can you ship it back?
Well, you're helping people that they're not familiar with it, okay, or something.
Oh, yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, and one of the things when you actually, if you decide to hit the OK button when you purchase it, one thing before you do that, you should check on the bottom right-hand corner of the computer screen. It looks like a little lock, like a master lock. It looks like a lock. If that's in the locked position, that's a good sign that that's a secured site, that when you pay for it, it's going to be a safe, secure transaction. If that little lock on your computer is in the unlocked position, that is an indication that that's not a safe site. When you hit the button and you put your credit card number in, it may not be a safe site to secure your number.
Okay. Now, let's say that you explained that. Terrific. Okay. That's great. But let's say that now somebody got cheated. what happens? They come to you, and then
Yeah.
what evidence do they have to supply to you?
It's very difficult. Some are hard, especially with eBay. A lot of people shop on eBay. eBay is good. There's some bad parts to eBay. Could be-
All sunshine makes deserts.
It
You have the rain, the snow, and all. So
Again, do they have a good customer service department? Is it going to help you?
legit.
If
Make
something
sure you're
hap-
working with something legit.
And the main thing is if you use your credit card, is your credit card company going to help you? So say I buy something from you, but then I find it in the long run, you don't send me the item. I'm not going to pay my bill right away. I'm going to see if American
okay.
Express is going to help me, or Visa, or MasterCard is going to help me with my dispute against you. So make sure that the site has a very good customer service department.
In other words, when in doubt, check it out.
Check it out,
Okay?
exactly.
Nothing wrong with stepping forward, and
No.
stepping back,
Right.
calling someone, if when in doubt, they can. Now, the district attorney's office also has a civilian complaint.
They do,
Right?
absolutely.
That can be helpful too, if somebody thinks they're getting robbed
Oh,
or cheated
sure.
or something, rather than just going right into.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Tell me
They
something
have
about
the
that.
bad check program that if you contract with someone and give them a check for the services that they performed, and the check, or you pay them, or maybe the check comes back non-sufficient funds
Yeah.
or whatever it is, they have a whole program that runs to help try and get your money back.
Yeah, that's the civilian complaint.
Absolutely.
Right,
Yes.
right. Okay, what else?
Well, actually, I was going to just mention, it's called the private complaint unit, would be the
Yeah,
unit
and
that you want to do.
that's a separate unit, right?
Separate unit, but it is still a part of the Montgomery County District Attorney's Office. One of the things that also you should be aware of this time of the year is there might be a lot of telephone solicitations for donations and contributions to...
That's another thing. Okay.
maybe
In other words,
a-
around Christmas time, everybody's got their hand out,
Charities, all
Okay,
kinds
of charities. So again, the same type of thing. You want to be aware of the reputation of the agency that's soliciting from you. Is it the Salvation Army or is it ABC Company? What type of solicitation are you getting? The other thing you have to be aware of is some other type of scams that are specifically addressed to our senior citizens. For instance, there's a new scam going on right now where older people are being called and saying, you've won the Canadian lottery, and they want you to pay the tax on the winnings ahead of time. And unfortunately, some of our community members are paying the tax and sending money to a P.O. box in Canada, and in fact, they have not won the Canadian lottery,
Oh, my God.
but they are now out the money, and they can't
come
trace
up-
the people.
They have nothing to do but think how they can cheat you, right?
Absolutely. Well, the first question you should ask yourself, most lotteries, you have to buy a ticket. Did you ever buy the ticket for the Canadian lottery? That's what the victims should be asking themselves. So why would you be picked out of all of the people in the
Yeah,
United
yeah,
States?
right.
Why did you win the Canadian
Because they
lottery?
were weak, a little stood out, right?
Well, the saying goes, if it seems too be good to be true, it probably is.
Right, right.
And unfortunately, we recently became aware of an individual, 80-year-old woman who sent $12,000
Yeah.
for this particular
con job,
scam.
right?
A con job,
Yeah.
thinking that she had won the winnings. So you have to be aware of that. There's many ways for people to be cheated. It doesn't necessarily mean a one-on-one confrontation. It could be a telephone call.
You know, people steal for different reasons, and for different. I think the oddest one I ever had when I was a policeman in North, I was head of the juvenile division, and there was shoplifting. A couple girls, they were college girls, so I think I don't want to name the college, but they were a local college, and so what they did, they went in. I think it was Sears when Sears was up on Logan Square,
sure.
and they were stealing bras and panties, and they went over that whole bag of bras, all different sizes. I said, well, what's the scoop? I said, what, you got all these big and small ones, and the girl was built pretty nice, that cute for that there, looked like a burlap bag. But what it was, they were working, they were, I guess, a college group, and they meet down at Wildwood, and they used to, and then when they get down, they all try the sizes on. There was about 20 girls, so it was like a group. So everybody would try the bras, if they were too big,
There you
so, it was, you never know.
Sure, you never know.
You say, well, why would this girl steal this while it's there? There's always a purpose,
Oh, absolutely.
So,
Especially with the internet. One thing,
I want to know about that because people are using it, are getting robbed,
yeah.
and then they don't know where to go. They don't know what to do. And as long as we don't know what to do, they don't know what to do, the thieves are going to keep on hitting.
there's a few good websites to go to if you have a problem on the internet. The Federal Trade Commission has a good website that you can make complaints to. There's another one through the FBI that you can make a complaint to if you've been a victim online. And
That's
you
a
could fill
big-
out,
that's a big deal
and you
today,
can,
right?
Yes, it
and you
is.
can fill it. You can fill the complaint form right out online. It's not complicated. It just asks, you know, basic questions. How were you victimized? How they can get a hold of you? And the FBI does look at each one of them. Even, you know, the county has the consumer complaint division, and the Attorney General's office has a consumer division.
And now you can check now if a guy, well, say, well, it's shoplifting, well, it's first offense, you find out he's hitting all over. Now,
Oh, sure.
you find that out, you have the record on that, right? You can check and see how many places he robbed, and I think after there's so many, then it becomes a
felony.
misdemeanor or
Yeah,
whatever.
goes
Felony.
on the
The
list,
turn, you know, so it's a summary first, maybe the first time, I don't know, maybe the second, I don't know, it's all in terms like that.
Well, it also depends on the amount that you steal.
Yeah, that's it, okay.
If
The
you
amount of
steal
money,
over,
what you steal.
if you steal over $2,000, for instance, if you go into a Bailey Banks and Biddle type jewelry store, one single item could be easily over $2,000, which is a felony, even if it would be a first offense.
Well, you know, another thing is like people get on the bus and go down to the casino. That's another thing. I mean, you're holiday shopping, going down there to, you know, you got to be careful with your handbag, and you got to be careful even when you win some money. You got to see who's standing next. That's another whole thing about this casino. Who's sitting next to you? Now that they have the little
Oh, the
card
card.
comes out,
Sure.
and the guy will just stand there, and you look the other way. Boom, he takes the card, and out it goes. You're going to chase him,
Sure.
you know. And every once in a while, you see somebody running through the, you know, casino. You're most likely he's grabbing some of them things. So you got to be aware. Got to be sharp. Look, say, you know.
And one of the things online that too is the solicitations you get, like Kathy was mentioning about the Salvation Army or the United Way. One thing is, if you get an unsolicited email to donate to one of those places, is not to respond to that email, but maybe go to the website yourself. Because some of these guys can
You
create...
go to the website. Where would you go to the website? What do you mean?
Say you type in www, I don't know the site for the Salvation Army, but say it's
Oh, okay,
salvationarmy.com,
okay. Oh.
and go to the site yourself, as opposed to answering an unsolicited email and just hitting reply to sender. It could be a whole falsely created website that looks like the Salvation Army, but it's really owned by Hank Cisco, and when I send my $25 donation, it doesn't go to the United Way, it
over there.
goes to you. So
What am I going to? Then you're going to put me and
then
lock
I'm
me
gonna
up.
lock you up.
Lock me up. Right? You got to steal for the Salvation Army. But what do? They pick the weakest ones. You know, they come up with a nice job and hello and all. So
And plus, I still, you know, it's like Kathy said, the old story, but the people think if you can get it easy, then I'm just going to do it easy.
Right.
If I can get money easy, if I can win the lottery and I don't have to do anything, if
yeah,
it's
in
too
other
good
words,
to
a
be
guy
true,
can
it
just
is.
sit there and become a millionaire.
Online.
Well, a millionaire, but
Absolutely.
nice living. You know, without,
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You know, thieves, they hate light and they hate sound, okay? So they want to be everything quiet, you know. They're going to rob something, you know, and a little noise, boom, they get scared. They put a light on it, and, you know. So that's back to you. Park your car where it's lit, you know. Walk, you know, always try to, if you're going to go someplace and you think, ask someone, say, come along with me, you know. So,
Right.
and look alert, you know.
Well, some of the other tips that you might also give is for going to the casino or going out shopping is you don't want to wear your most expensive piece of jewelry the day you're just
That's
going
another
out
thing.
shopping.
Oh, God.
And you do want to wear something comfortable that in the event that you're involved in some type of altercation, that you're in comfortable clothing.
Yeah.
And most of all, you just want to be aware of what's around you and your surroundings. For instance, if you want to go to use an ATM machine and you want to get some extra cash, you want to kind of make sure that the ATM machine that you use, again, is in a lighted, populated area. And if you see somebody lurking around that doesn't look right, maybe you should go to another ATM. If you get that gut instinct that tells you something's wrong, go with your
my
gut.
God.
Go with your gut.
Kathy brought up a great point. You know, I have a cousin that's a policeman in New York City, and I was visiting over there a while back, and I says, boy, I says, we have Plymouth Meeting Mall, Plymouth or whatever it was. I says, they go to the jewelry store, they smash and grab, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He says, yeah. He says, over here, he says, they have different, they choke and grab. So they,
Oh,
the
sure.
girl wearing, you know, the jewelry around their neck. So you don't wear all that fancy
No,
stuff.
they'll
You
cut
know.
your finger
I used to have
off,
a
yeah.
sister-in-law used to be told, take it easy. We were going over here. I don't need that. They're going to rob you. They're going to beat me up. You know. So, in other words, if the husband is walking along with, and they're up in age, and she's got all the, they're going to beat him up, and he can't defend
Sure.
himself, and they're going to grab and choke and grab. You know.
Well,
So-
another topic too to keep an eye on is how many, if you're bringing your kids with you shopping.
Go
You
ahead.
know, keep an eye on, the malls are going to be crowded, shopping stores are going to be crowded. Keep an eye on where if you have to bring them with you, keep an eye on where your kids
Right.
are. This is a great time of year for a kid to be kidnapped.
That's right. And another thing, wear something, a red, something loud where you can at least find them. Don't
You
get
can
something
point
that'll
them
blend
out
with the crowd and
easily.
it's hard to find them. You're right.
Absolutely.
That's a good point, you know. Oh, my God.
Well, you
All my
have to
kids are
kind-
big now, though.
You have to keep in mind what Mary had said, that the child knows that if they do get separated from their parent,
Yeah.
let's assume it wasn't an abduction, hopefully
Right,
not,
right.
and they just get lost.
It's a big scare.
What
Right.
does the child and what does the parent do if they get separated from each other? They should know to go to a store clerk or a security person in the mall or a police officer and say, I'm lost.
Yeah.
And the parent should do the same thing. So they should kind of talk with their children when they go out shopping.
Right, right.
If we get separated, this is what you do.
Where's the meeting point? If we get separated, where's our meeting point?
And if they have cell phones, do they know that if as soon as they get lost,
Yeah,
that they
well,
should
that's-
call Mom,
Right,
Mom,
right,
I'm
right,
lost, I'm
right.
here.
You
What
know,
do
being
I
a
do?
parent, I remember the scariest times was on the beach when kids would wander around and you're looking. I'm telling you, that is
And
scary.
everybody looks alike, especially if you're
yeah.
looking for a
Oh,
lost
God.
kid. They
And
all
then
look
in the
alike.
mall, you know, it's scary. Where? You know, all of a sudden, between the panic between that and the time you find them, you know, oh, my God. I remember this is something different, but the lady was looking for a husband, and I forgot, you know, whatever it was, and she called me, and I said, my husband, he's not home, he went shopping, where he is, you know, and she's crying and all. So, it's all right. So next thing you know, he went shopping, but he forgot to call, you know, and he started shopping. Maybe a half hour longer than what he was supposed to be. She was crying, and I'm looking. Next thing you know, we're going over to the shopping mall to look for him, and he's passing me with the car. You know? So she's crying. So when we got to the house, boom! And she started beating him up. You know, she was so happy. You know, sometimes
sure.
you're so happy you cry.
But some kids too they might not get lost, but they might hide on purpose. You know, they might climb
See,
under the clothes rack. It's
now
what
that-
kids do.
That's, you know, you had a point there. See, ladies and gentlemen, we're trying to bring out something to be aware, you know, the things that you don't think of. But now you got to protect yourself, you got to protect your kids, you know, it's just something. It's great. I'm glad that you got the experience here and all this here internet stuff. Come on, tell me more.
Well, I guess one of the things too is I think a cell phone is a great idea. Everyone, I mean, all the adults should have one. What if your car breaks down? Now it's 11 o'clock
Right.
at night, the mall just closed
Right.
because they had a late sale or whatever, and you're the last one in the lot, whether you're an employee or a shopper. What
Yeah.
if you come out and you have a flat tire? How are you going to get the car fixed? How are you going to get home? So I think cell phones are very good and if you have one for a kid, maybe it just has your phone number programmed in and 911 programmed in.
Kathy, 28 years a county detective.
Yes.
Oh my God. Where you from? Where were you born?
Well, I was born in Valley Forge, actually, at Valley Forge Army
Any relation to
Hospital.
George Washington? No.
No, I'm old, but I'm not that old.
I didn't mean it that way. No. Valley Forge. I've never heard of anybody being born at Valley Forge.
Valley Forge Army Hospital. My father.
Oh, Valley
was-
Forge Army Hospital. Oh, I
My
used to put
father was
boxing
in the
shows
service.
up there. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. How about
But
that?
my father was in the military, and we eventually settled in Summers Point, New Jersey.
Oh.
And then I came here to
Well, how'd
Pennsylvania.
you get to Norristown or county detective?
Well, actually, I was a police officer in Ben Salem Township in Bucks
Salem.
County.
Oh.
And then I became aware that there was an opening here in Montgomery County for a county.
Who was chief of county detective then? Nicholas or who
No, it
was,
was Clem Sarosky.
Clem Crow, I'm sorry. Nicholas was a district attorney. Yeah.
No, it was Mr. Smythe, Joseph
Oh,
Smythe.
Smythe, that's right. Okay.
Was the judge at the time.
Yeah, I worked for this. Yeah, okay. You worked for how many district attorneys you worked for?
What?
Nicholas?
5. No, I didn't work for Nicholas.
never worked for Nicholas?
It would be Smythe. It would be
Smythe? Tressler?
Tom Waters.
Was Tressler?
No, he was
assistant
first
DA?
assistant. First assistant. Then it was Tom Waters,
Yeah, Waters.
Mike Marino,
Mike Marino?
Bruce Castor, and now
Yeah,
Brisa
okay,
Furman.
Right, okay. How about you?
I'm
Tell me
just a
something.
young kid compared to her.
Tell me your background.
I started at the DA's office as an intern in county detectives through Westchester, and then got hired as an investigator after that. And after 6 years, I worked with the NET team for a while, the narcotics unit. And after that, Mike Marino sent me to the police academy, and I've been a detective since 1993.
So you're a legit
Oh,
county
sure.
detective.
I've been with the office 20 years, but
20?
Yeah, I've been a
Well, you there when-
detective for 13
you came on
years.
right after I left?
You were there. That's when the old office was in the courthouse. With
Oh, I
Sandy
was
Jacob- yeah.
something else. I was, what's his name? Director, safety. Safety,
Okay.
had something to do with the safety, all right.
Okay.
Okay, Liz, you know what?
What?
The half hour is over. And let me tell you, it's been a pleasure. But is there anything you want to just tell me, just closing? Something about your boss?
Something
Risa?
about, well,
Great.
it's an honor
I
to
had her
work
on the
for,
show here. She's great. She's
That's
always
great.
very cooperative in sending someone over here. And she got different departments.
Kathy and I are also certified forensic child interviewers, so we do.
What is it?
We are certified forensic child interviewers, so we do a lot of the child abuse cases. and-
Oh, okay.
And Reese's trying to open the Michigan Kids Child Advocacy Center, so we do a lot of that kind of work.
Oh, my God. Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Conshohocken, Upper Merion, White Marsh, Norristown, East Norton, West Norton, Pottstown, Comcast 28, Verizon 45. Tune in Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? At 5 o'clock, Saturday, 2 o'clock, okay? And this is for your safety during the holidays, okay? So thank you very much.
Thanks, Hank.
Okay?
Thank you.
you. And then we always have our little thing, a little holiday treat, a la saloon. Merry Christmas.
salute.
Who got the pizza?